Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, he was taken into custody in Norfolk just a short while ago. He is accused of allegedly sharing confidential information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing over his time.
This news coming out of the UK this morning that former Prince Andrew has been arrested in connection to misconduct allegations reportedly related to revelations that have come out of the Epstein files. So he's now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He was arrested this morning, again on suspicion of misconduct while in public office. And while the Thames Valley Police
In the early hours of the morning, the unthinkable headline quietly appeared across British media. A senior member of the royal family. Arrested. Taken into custody. Not for scandalous rumors, but for something far more serious. Allegations of misconduct in public office. And once again, the shadow of Jeffrey Epstein returned to the story. For years, Prince Andrew's name has circulated around Epstein's network. But this moment felt different. This was no longer about reputational damage. This was about potential criminal investigation. And for the monarchy, it was a breaking point that many insiders had quietly feared. To understand why this matters now, we need to step back in time. Between 2001 and 2011, Andrew served as a British trade envoy, a government-appointed role, one that carried access to confidential diplomatic and business information. According to newly surfaced emails and reports, authorities are examining whether sensitive information was shared with Epstein during that period. The timing is critical. The arrest came just weeks after a fresh batch of Epstein-related documents circulated publicly. Emails, connections, timeline. Some of them contradicting past statements made by powerful figures. And Andrew was not a distant acquaintance. He had been photographed with Epstein in Central Park in 2010. Long after Epstein's conviction. That image alone became symbolic. Not of guilt, but of judgment. Of choices made in full view of public knowledge. Now British police are asking different questions. What was shared? With whom? And why? He appears to have forwarded government report visits details of those visits in Vietnam, Singapore, China forwarded investment opportunities for gold and uranium in Afghanistan. Did he abuse the public office? Did he violate confidentiality? These are not casual allegations. In the United Kingdom, misconduct in public office is a serious criminal charge. And the optics alone are unprecedented. A royal family member detained for questioning. Homes reportedly searched. Devices potentially seized. For observers of the monarchy, the silence from inside the palace has been as revealing as the statements. I have learned deepest concern and news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The law must take its course. It would not be right for me to comment further. Notice the phrasing. Full name. No titles. No affectionate language. Analysts say this signals distance. Deliberate institutional separation. This tension did not appear overnight. Andrew had already been stripped of his royal titles and removed from official duties. According to multiple reports, he was also pushed out of royal residences. Step by step, the monarchy was creating a firewall. But the deeper story is about timing. Prince William, the future king, has spent years positioning the monarchy as modern, transparent, and accountable. Now his uncle's case lands directly on his doorstep. Sources close to the royal household suggest this is not just a legal problem. It is a generational problem. A battle between tradition and public accountability. And yet, the most powerful narrative evidence is not what is said. It is what is not said. No televised address from the king. No extended commentary from senior royals. Only written statements. Controlled language. Distance. Experts in royal communication say silence is strategy. But in an era of instant transparency, silence can feel like avoidance. The Queen was an elderly lady who believed her son Andrew lied to his mother. Statements he made in that interview have now been proven to be lies. That 2019 BBC interview remains one of the most scrutinized royal interviews in modern history. In it, Andrew denied key allegations and downplayed his connection to Epstein. Over time, evidence contradicted parts of that narrative. Trust eroded. This is where the psychological framing becomes unavoidable. Power, proximity, denial, and institutional protection. Not unique to royalty, but amplified by. In the United States, commentators have described a broader phenomenon, the so-called Epstein class. A network of elites who moved in the same social circles, attended the same events, and benefited from mutual proximity. There are people who are getting ahead this rich network of people they hang out on an island. It puts a literal face on it. Andrew's case sits inside that larger narrative. Not as proof of criminal guilt, but as part of a pattern that the public is increasingly questioning. And still, important facts remain unknown. Authorities have not released details of the specific evidence. No charges have been confirmed. No trial dates announced. Arrest does not equal guilt, but it does equal scrutiny. Inside the palace, the atmosphere is described as deeply unsettled. Advisors reportedly fear that public trust, already fragile, could erode further if transparency is not managed carefully. Meanwhile, Andrew's daughters and extended family face relentless media exposure, private lives pulled into a global narrative. A reminder that scandal at the top rarely stays contained. There is also a political dimension. Epstein's connections stretched across business, politics, and global elites. New documents continue to surface. Each release revives old questions. Who knew what? And when? For the monarchy, the risk is not only legal, it is symbolic. A modern institution built on tradition now confronting a public that demands accountability. Yet, within the royal household, some voices urge perspective. One individual's actions do not define centuries of history, but history is shaped by moments like this. So where does this leave things now? Under investigation. Details are limited. The palace maintains control. So where does this leave things now? Andrew remains under investigation. Details are limited. The palace maintains controlled distance. Prince William moves forward with a vision of reform while carrying the weight of legacy. And the public watches. Not for spectacle, but for answers. Because in institutions built on secrecy and tradition, the most powerful story is often what is slowly revealed and what remains hidden. This investigation is ongoing. The evidence is incomplete. The questions are unanswered. And for the British monarchy, this chapter is still being written.